Hello, everybody, and welcome to another episode of the Singer's Toolbox. So, today I wanted to add another video to my Crossing Over series. I wanted to keep it appropriate to the season, hence all of the green. Well, I guess this is kind of green, right? And talk about some traditional Irish music for St. Patrick's Day. Now, I need to tell you up front, I am not Irish. I just have some experience dropping in on some sessions and want to share some knowledge and some resources. But with that, let's have some fun and get into it. All right, so first off, everybody, I want to give you a little bit of information about Irish traditional music just generally. Okay, so I am not Irish, just want to put that out there. I'm just a huge lover of the music. There's so much Irish music out there. I mean, ranging from wedding music, funerals, pub visits, family gatherings, everything in between, love songs, dances, so much music, right? I want to warn you now, a lot of this Irish music is an oral tradition, right? So, all of this kind of sheet music and stuff doesn't really do you much good. It's just a good reference. And that's kind of what I'm here to help you with today is a couple of references that I own, and I've kind of pared this down over time to get the optimal stuff that if I hear a tune, I can probably find it in print and then be able to learn it. Okay. My experience with this is that there was a pub that was over here where I live in Queens, Banter. Unfortunately, it closed down during the pandemic, and I think it's permanently closed now, unfortunately. So, and I've been trying to hunt down the musicians that used to play there because I wanted to try to see if they were playing for St. Patrick's Day. Haven't been able to find them. But the guitarist I learned a lot from, especially certain tunes, right? So we're going to get into really quick, using the resources I have here, what you can expect from a sheet music resource for Irish music. So let's do the thing. Okay, so when you go into the bar here initially, you want to know a little bit about the etiquette of going in, right? You don't just go in there and start singing as a singer. You want to listen to the set, feel it out, and see what's going on, right? During these session sets, there's going to be a lot of dance music that's going to range from jigs and hornpipes, reels, slip reels, all these things. I do not have enough knowledge on that to be able to help you with that, but I knew a little bit about the vocal music. Typically, you want to talk to whoever the band leader is and see if they even want a singer there. But if they do want a singer there, I got a book here that might help you with some of the basics here. I featured this before. I had said I was going to do a video for St. Patrick's Day on this, so this book's coming back. This is the Irish Pub Songs book. Super, super basic and helps you out with a really easy to addition that you can carry around if you're looking for something to get the job done when you're going into the bar, right? Just to look over, to sing from, to be able to tell the guy what tunes you know. Because again, as I said in the previous section, this is all an oral tradition, right? When you go up to this guy or whoever the band leader is, or talking to the musicians, maybe during a break, don't do it at the end of necessarily a set because they could be going one set into another. Wait till they take a break, right? But you can ask them, what songs they're willing to play if they want to have a singer in. Usually they love it because no one in the session might be singing, or maybe it's the guitarist, he wants a break or something, That's usually the case when I went to Banter. The guy who played guitar sang, and he was like, oh yeah, dude, tell me what key you want it in and I'll play it, right? But this book is great because it has tons of the basics. And also, don't be afraid to ask, at the end, if you sing your one song, that's probably all you're going to get. It's one or two songs. So know the songs you're going to sing really well. But, it goes without saying. But be willing to ask for suggestions of stuff that the music leader might like. And I'll get into that because I have there's another book here that has a song that's not in here, but I managed to find in this other book. This book starts you out with some super basics. I mean, everything from if you got to be that guy that sings Danny Boy, don't be that guy that just sings Danny Boy. There's way more interesting stuff out there. But there's tons of stuff to get you started for any kind of respectable gathering, right? I mean, You have like your drinking songs that you could do that are like your fun songs, your quick songs, like All For Me Grog is in here. But there's also some really pretty ones. Like I sing a couple of ballads. I do like Fields of Athenry. And I do, when they sing, usually they sing like The Parting Glass at the end. Stuff like that's good to know. You don't have to know all of this stuff. You really just have to know like two or three tunes to start, and then be willing to take suggestions. If a guy's like, "Man, I really want to hear this tune," or "Man, this tune, if you go and do this in a bar, you're gonna get tips or something." That's what this guy used to tell me, because I came in and I would sing like Athenry and Carrickfergus a lot, and he's like, that's lovely, but I'll talk about the next song in the next section here. But he gave me a couple suggestions, and they didn't happen to be in this book. But this is a really good start out here. This is a Hal Leonard. Really easy to get your hands on, not too expensive. Regular price on this is $15, but I'm sure you could find a cheaper copy somewhere. All right, next up here I have a book specifically for the singer who hears a tune. They're like, oh man, where do I find this tune? Rather than trying to look all over online, and usually it's not going to be transcribed well, there happens to be this book that Hal Leonard put out. I think all three of these are Hal Leonard. Yeah, all three of these are Hal Leonard. That has a huge amount of Irish vocal music that you can use. This one being the Grand Irish Songbook. Now, if you had to only have one book, I'd probably go with this guy right here, because this has a huge variety. I don't think it has as many like drinking songs. Maybe like the pub book has more of the drinking songs. This has more of the ballads, and some of there are a couple of like funny songs that are in here too. But there's also something to be said about ballads that I wanted to cover real quick, because a couple of my favorites are in here, and the one that my guitarist, the guy who played guitar over at Banter, my guitarist, who gave me some suggestions. So first off, an interesting fact for those who want to get into doing the ballads is that there's like the love ballads, and then there are these songs called the Rebel Ballads. And those Rebel Ballads are really cool. Just putting it out there. Because they document these stories and this history, this rich history of standing up for Irish rights in Great Britain, right? Or really, I mean, that's probably putting it wrong. But standing up just generally for Irish rights, and not being willing to have the British have their say when it came to Irish independence. So some of these are like quite revolutionary, but there are a couple in this book that I really like, such as Arthur McBride. And even Fields of Athenry kind of has like a revolutionary thing to it, because it's the story of a man who steals corn to feed children and then gets sent to Botany Bay, So there's a lot of that kind of stuff. The song in particular that I was told to learn out of this book was The Mountains of Mourne. Which is another one of those like pining for Ireland kind of songs, right? And just, guys, these songs are gorgeous. Simple enough, right? But it's really worth it to look into the stories of these songs. There's just so much here. So again, this is the Grand Irish Songbook. I have one more for you guys, especially for those that play guitar or want to do stuff and know a guitarist and you want to put something together. All right, so last thing here, guys. I have what is called the Celtic Fake Book. Now, for my classical singer friends out there, I'm not really sure if you're aware of what a fake book is or how to use it, but my guitarist friends out there, this is like gold here if you're looking to get into Irish music. The way that this book works, so this is not just Irish, that also covers Welsh and Scottish tunes as well, has some popular Irish tunes in it. This is a really great resource, okay? Especially if like you want to go and do a gig, you're going to have a guitarist with you, Maybe there are a couple of tunes they don't know, or there's one like really obscure one, because this has like more music than like I would ever possibly need for these kinds of gigs, right? But if you have a guitarist who just needs to have the chords and they don't want to look them up on a phone or an iPad or something, it's probably in here. One of the other incredible resources about this, and I actually didn't even know this until I looked at this book, like before shooting this, is that there is also not only a selection of Gaelic music in here, which is incredible to begin with. There's also a Gaelic pronunciation guide, which I don't know anyone else out there, but I mean, it's not going to be perfect. You really need to find someone who knows how to do it and like orally learn it, most likely. But there's a guide that will help you, and I've never seen a guide to Gaelic pronunciation before, so this book is awesome. But yeah, I would use this book especially for those instances where someone suggests, like, hey, do you know this Gaelic tune? And you want to try to find it. It is most likely in this book. Anyway, I'm not going to go ramble on about fake books, but these three books that I mentioned here are so absolutely useful. All right, guys, so just some final thoughts on all of this. Again, I am not Irish. I did not grow up with this music. I mean, a little bit. Like, my dad was interested in listening to it when we were in the car on, like, a long road trip, and I heard a bunch of stuff, but I wouldn't really call it being, an expert in this kind of music. There are people who know far more than me. I just want to try to give you guys a video on some resources. And again, these three books, I mean, not to say that they're the be-all, end-all. And, I mean, if there are better books out there, people put them in the comments so that, I have an excuse to buy something. Jesus. But these three I have found to be my little treasure chest, my war chest for when I need to go out there and do these songs. My whole love interest in these songs started over again when I did a gig with my friend Eowyn at the Irish Theatre, and ever since then I've really been into trying to find out more about these songs. I picked this stuff up at the Strand. As you can see, all these like Strand stickers and stuff. I picked this stuff up at the Strand as I find it, but it has to have a certain kind of music in it, and really at this point, like, the Grand Irish Songbook covers most of it. The Irish Pub book like has most of what it doesn't, and the Celtic book here has all of that stuff that kind of falls between the cracks, like the Gaelic music, some of the popular Irish tunes and stuff. And besides, I'll be real honest, I am no pianist. I read out of fake books when I play piano, so this is always great for me. But yeah, so if you like the content that I'm doing here, like these little, random videos on crossing over and looking into music that is not necessarily classical music, hit the like and subscribe in the bottom there to see what I do here. This kind of music, like what I feature in the videos, is always featured on the Instagram. I usually put out the video, and then midweek I put out a post with the Instagram on the books that I used for any video. And I'll see you guys next time on The Singer's Toolbox. Happy St. Patrick's Day, everybody.